Very informal today just because that's who I am. I try to make sure that when I meet somebody, I don't just meet a new face, learn a new name, but that you are incorporated into my family so y'all can just call me Nikki. I do, if I talk with a slur, it's because I'm drugged up. That means my drugs have kicked in and I'm no longer in pain. But I had some dental work done on Thursday and it has not let up. So I did not want to cancel on you guys because you all are that important to me. So I am here. Please bear with me. Because I'm walking into just talking, I had a million different things on what I wanted to speak on. The story that comes to mind for this morning is just a tad bit, the tip of the iceberg of what my story is. I remember vividly one day just standing in my room, I hit the back of the wall, boom, and I just slid down the side of the wall. I remember sitting on the floor thinking, okay, I give up. I give up on God, because not only did I just get divorce papers, I divorced the marriage that I had, the man that I thought was going to be my all in all. I divorced my dream life. I divorced the house with the picket fence and the big law firm, and I divorced the sunny days, the happiness outside. But not only did I divorce all of those, I divorced God and I divorced myself. I divorced myself because I no longer believed that I could be what I wanted to be, who I was designed to be, and I didn't believe that God even cared anymore. You see, I was a woman who got pregnant at the age of 15. I had my son 2 days after my 16th birthday. And when I tell the story, every time I think about it, I think about the words that flash that people tried to label me with, such as, you're a slut, you're stupid, you're this, you're that. I remember growing up in a holiness church where you just didn't do that. And the girls who did get pregnant as teenagers in our church, they just disappeared. We never saw them. My parents looked at me and they told me, they was like, you know what, we don't have an uncle so-and-so or auntie so-and-so to send you away to. So you're going to be stuck here. I remember going through being a mother at the age of 16 thinking, how am I going to ever raise this little kid, this little precious guy who's going to depend on me, a 16-year-old who didn't really know my left from right, and I'm supposed to take care of him and make sure that he's okay. So I survived that kind of stuff. I survived not being able to go, not being told that I wasn't going to be anything, that I wasn't going to be able to go to college. I fought through and I made it through college. I got scholarships, took my son to college with me, traveled the world, came home, went to law school, and I just thought that everything was going to work out. You know, they always say that your latter is going to be greater than your past. At least that's what the Bible says. And God, you know, I thought that you were going to do that for me. I thought that I had found the love of my life in college. I thought that we were going to have babies because I made sure that I didn't have any more babies out of wedlock. I did not want to be that girl sitting in church where everybody was looking like she was less than the gum on the bottom of their shoe anymore. I was going to do it right. I was going to get married. I was going to have a kid in marriage. And instead, after getting married to the man of my dreams, here we are. It's 4.5 years into our marriage. The marriage that I thought was going to be my happily ever after. And for the first 4 years, we tried to have babies to the point that a sister came up to me in church and was like, you know what, baby? I know you and your husband are trying to have a kid. And I'm looking like, I'm talking. I don't tell my business. I don't talk to anybody. And it's easy for me to do it now, but then I wasn't as transparent. So I'm looking at her like, you don't know me, but okay, sister. And she looked at me and she was like, you know what? God told me to tell you that he knows that you're trying to have a baby, but you will never have a baby until your husband gets himself right. It's not you, it's him. So after that, I hurried up, y'all. I was seeing my gynecologist every other week. I called him, I was like, look, we need to step it up a notch. I need you to send me, I'm going to need you to send me to somebody else. And so he sent me to the fertility doctor, and even the fertility doctor is saying, no, baby, you're okay. You're more than fertile. As a matter of fact, here's the videotape. You can see your fallopian tube here, see this one here. You're good to go. I don't know what's going on. So I remember sitting on the floor, and sitting on the floor, divorcing myself from everything, including God. I remember ending up in the fetal position, crying, laying in a puddle, just drip after drip after drip of hurt and pain and memories, and thinking, God, how could you? How could you let me down? How could you do this to me again? And when the tears dried and I sat up, I thought, well, still here. So I don't have God because I divorced him. Don't have the husband because I divorced him. Don't have the baby, but the mistress has two. Got my child, and he's in the other room, depressed, just come back from a mental hospital because the divorce caused him, the separation caused him to start being suicidal. So now I got a kid in the other room who I've worked so hard to be a good mother from the age of 16, who is now trying to throw it all away with suicide. When I got up and the tears dried, I realized I'm still here, and tomorrow's still going to come, and the next day is still going to come, and eventually you're going to have to do something to come. It's just not going to work, laying on the floor in the puddle. So here I stand. I have over and over and over reinvented myself, so I say. I gave a speech the other night on the miracle of now, and that is something that I realized I had to embrace, was the miracle of now. Realizing that I am the miracle, that things may not always work out, that sometimes I might be mad at God, and I might be mad at everything that's going on around me, but the truth of the matter is that every moment of every second of every day, I have the opportunity to make it better. And that's what I've told my son since I was 16. Baby, every second of every moment of every day, you can do something different. You can turn this whole thing around and move in a different direction. So in that different direction, I can't say that every day's been sunny. I can't say that every day's been great. I still get recognized on the street. Hey, Judge Compton. No, ran twice, lost twice. But I joke around and I say, my next book needs to be entitled How I Lost the Election Twice and Still Came Out the Winner. And the truth of the matter is, I came out the winner because I realized, one, it was stupid to divorce God because he's never left me. And that in all the pain and all the hurt, it made me the awesomeness that stands before you. It made me the miracle. So I am the miracle, and I challenge you all. To continue to be a miracle. And I'll end with this. I've been working on, my passion is actually educating. I call myself an edutainer, even on my TV show. My purpose is to educate you while I entertain you. So that when you go home, even though you might have laughed and you might have heard something that was funny, that in the back of your head you learned something new, or there was a spark in you that caused you to do something different and caused you to be great. So I was thinking, if I could think of something that would remind others of what my story is, what would it be? And I heard somebody give the story the other day, and I thought, that's me. So I don't know how many of you all watched cartoons as a kid. I did. It ended pretty quickly because at the age of 15, getting pregnant, 16 wasn't time for cartoons. Had to get a job, or 2 or 3, and still go to school. But there's a cartoon. It has these 2 lab mice in it. And the 2 lab mice in the cartoon has one tall one, one short one. One optimistic, bubbly, happy one, and one short, narcissistic, pessimistic one. And every morning, the bubbly one gets up and he looks at his neighbor and he says, hey, what are we going to do today, Brain? And Brain, the short one, looks at him and he says, same thing we do every day, Pinky. We're going to try to take over the world. And even though he sounds like he's pessimistic, even though he sounds like he doesn't have much to offer, he sounds like the nasal spray guy, every day he comes up with a different plan. He picks up his stuff and he draws out his map and he says, this is what we're going to do because today is the day we're going to take over the world. So, I think that's me. I think that represents my life, and I hope that that's the inspiration that I give to you all, is to every day to wake up and realize that it's a new day, and the plan might not have worked the day before, and it might not have worked the day before that, and it may not have worked the day before that, but God hasn't left you, and you haven't left you, I hope, and that you realize that you are the miracle of now, so live in the now and take care of yourself. Awesome. Thank you.